And welcome back to the end of Dante's story in Devil May Cry 2. This time we're going to finally stop Arius and take on Argosax, wrapping up what's left of Dante's story and ending the game. And if you look, we managed to get the full 20 units of health. I had just enough red orbs to fill it out, so you can enter the 2 final bosses with max health, which is pretty cool. Not that it'll probably matter and we'll need it, but it's still cool that we have. But either way, you have this little corridor and it's straight into the boss.
Now, I'll absorb his power. I will become an all-powerful immortal. What? What's going on?
Is there a problem?
You! Is that the medallia? You switched them?
A false coin for a false god. Showtime.
Right, this fight is very similar to the first fight. The only real differences you need to worry about is that firstly, he has a lot more minions with him. Secondly, he has more health, and thirdly, he moves around a lot more often and quicker. So you just got to keep up the pressure, and if you can, keep an eye on the minions so you don't get overwhelmed, because he will just keep on summoning more and more if you start killing them. But as you can see, Arius does have more health. He's also a bit more of a punk because he'll move around a lot more like that. But this isn't too hard of a fight. If you beat him the first time, no trouble. You shouldn't really have much trouble with it this time around. If anything, it's easier because it's a bigger arena. So you've got more space to maneuver and get around. I don't actually know if he's weak to ice. It's just because I know the final boss isn't a big fan of ice, so I'm just keeping it on for the sake of convenience. But as you can see, Arius is already halfway down. It really does not take much to take this punk down once you start getting on him. If you keep up the pressure, he will fall before you know it. It's just keeping up the pressure. And it says he summoned a lot more minions now. It's a good thing we killed them just as he did that. Because it just gets annoying when there's this many. Right, let's get out of here a little bit and then start moving around to Arius. And as you probably noticed, the minions are very similar to Lucia, but we'll cover that in the next story.
No! My dream! My life! I was going to be the king of this world!
King? Yeah. Here's your crown.
That's like the only cool line Dante says this game I've noticed. Here's your crown. That's a nice little jab while still making it a cool line. But either way, we have one pretty big cutscene coming up, and then afterwards we'll be straight into the final boss.
You defeated Arius. There's just one thing left. Kill me. Kill me and everything will be over. I thought I was a descendant of the clan that protects Vie de Marly. The ones who have the blood of the devils. But the truth is, I was created by Arius. I could become a monster and attack the humans at any time. Now, kill me. It's your job to hunt devils.
Why did the portal to hell open? There is genuinely no reason for the portal to hell to open. The plot MacGuffins were not put together in this game. 3 of them were put together, 1 of them was separated, and yet for some reason they decided to open the portal to hell anyway. That doesn't make sense. The plot never attempts to justify it. They just fucking threw it in there for the sake of throwing it in. Ugh.
What? The ritual was incomplete.
The game even acknowledges it!
But the door to the demon world is... Wait. What are you doing?
My job is hunting devils.
Once you enter the demon world, you may never be able to return. I'll go. I'm expendable. You don't need to worry about me. I'm happy if I can die like a human.
No. Devils never cry.
But...
Let's leave it to fate. Heads, I go. Tails, you go. See you around.
Don't you want to hear the story about Sparta from Mathieu?
I know. He did the same thing. Hold on to my coin, Lucia.
Just that. All of that wound me up. It shouldn't be like that at all, and they just fucking did it anyway. There's no justifiable reason why the demon world opens. And like I said, they don't attempt to justify it. It just opens. Oops. Here you go, here's Argosax. And this fight's not even fun. What a great first phase to the final boss. I'm not going to speed this up because it's the final boss. But, you know, like my issue of some of these bosses actively encouraging you to not get up and close with them and instead encourage you to do this and shoot at a safe distance. This boss also fucking does that. Because if you get too close and the fastest side of Argosax here does that, the shotgun blast, that's an instant kill because every single shot will hit you. So if you're even remotely close to it, you can't do it. So it's like one phase where it's just the tentacle from Jotactigum, or how are you supposed to pronounce it, Joker Golem. That you can kind of do physical because it doesn't do much. You can just get in there. But almost every single other phase actively discourages it because it's just not worth it. There's no reason to do it. So unfortunately, we're stuck on the slow end here. And I'll put an annotation on the screen of when to skip to if you just want to skip the first phase, because this is all it's going to bloody be. But for the sake of getting on with it, Argosax the Chaos here, the first phase is simply an amalgamation of several bosses you fought throughout the game. It's not every boss, and unfortunately it's none of the good ones, but it's several of them. Like, you're not going to see Infected Chopper in here, thankfully, but you're not going to see things like Bulwark. And you don't see Plutonian, I don't think. Oh, there goes the first chunk, so we move over to the next chunk and start shooting here at the bird. To be fair, actually, that bird, that looks like Griffin from the first game. And it's doing the same shit. I can't really tell from it, but it sort of looks like, huh, that might be Griffin actually. Because it's doing all the electric shit that he did in the first game. Well, at least I also give it that. They snuck in Griffin in there as well. But the good thing is that some of these phases, even though it's very mindless, you can sit right on the very edge of the aimer, and when the auto lock-on kicks in, you can just shoot them freely from here, like I'm doing now. And Griffin, yeah, it is Griffin, I'm pretty sure of it. He only has one attack that'll be able to hit you, and that's one where it's the two lightnings on the side that close in. Because all the rest of these, look, he's not aiming at us, he aims straight ahead. That one closes in on the side, he actually goes towards us. But all the others, it's just waiting for him to die. Like so. What's next? Oh, the goat demon that I'm going to get my S rank off later on. Like off screen, like when I go back to it. Because I know you get mission select once you beat the game. This is the boss I'll be coming back to, and I even mentioned it because it's the only mission I got an A rank in. I can easily do this boss. Not only no damage, but if I just dodge around the fire nearby, get the S rank off it, get a lot of red orbs for killing him, and probably get the S rank quite quickly. So, hi, guy. And look, he's not even doing anything, he's just doing the basic fire breath and it's not reaching me. Like, earth. I kind of wish I upgraded my guns more just so I could get this done quicker. Because we're still going to be here for another few minutes yet, because we still got another, like, 2 health bars past this one to get through. Because the last health bar is red, it goes orange, then yellow, and we're on the yellow now. That one dead, here it is. But this one we could probably get close to, but I think this is another one where you can sit on the edge and not worry about it. Yeah, let's see. And if you injure it enough, it'll panic, go back in, and then immediately come back out. I don't really get the point of this boss. Like, I don't think it was necessary. Like, they could have just made it the second phase, because the second phase, when we get to it, although it's not brilliant by any stretch, it's better than most of the bosses we fought in this game. Like the only boss I think it's not better than are the Bolvik fights. And even that's not saying much, because none of the bosses in this game are exactly award-winning, but it's better than nothing. Oh, and after this, it looks like it is Phantom. Do you think that's why they threw Phantom in at random? Because it's like, well, if you're going to have 2 of the first game's bosses just kind of here, we might as well try and find a way to justify them somewhat. But we only have enough time to do one of them. Ah, well, we only need one. I think that's what it was. I know I'm like just sacrificing it, but I just want to sacrificing my no damage, but I want to get it done. Ah, you fuck! I was trying to work out what it was doing. I didn't realise it was dipping its head in. This one we probably can get relatively close to, because it's just going to do this. Oh, hello. Yeah, you can calm down, Orangora. You'll get your chance in the spotlights. Hey! He'll dip his head. Here it is. The Stinger takes so long to charge up. Like, he doesn't do it instantly. He has to go like that little baby step that I couldn't knock him out of it. Ugh. So I got a bingo from dodging like a madman. Oh, that one's dead. Alright. Now what's all left is this guy. This guy's another one who actively discourages it, because this is all he does. Like, good luck trying to get in physical attacks when he's blasting these in your face. But he's the last one, so it should be the fucking god. And you get locked into it as well. If the first one hits you, you have to put up with the rest of it. And you can't even shoot through them to destroy them. But I know it was DMC3 that started doing that, but select attacks in DMC3 and 4, you could straight up break through if you hit them with enough force, usually with bullets. Classic example, Beowulf. He'd bring down these giant, like, spiked pillars, and he'd launch them at you, but if you shot at them, you could break them before they hit you, and they'd drop green orbs if you did so. Credo in 4, you destroyed those spears, whether it was physical or gun ranged, you'd get green orbs or white orbs out of it, depending on how you destroyed it. What I'm going to do now, just ready for the second phase, so I can make sure I can do it without fear, is use the small devil star and vital star I brought, just so then I can go in a nice way. Because now it's all going to mould away, and the actual important phase of the fight is going to start. And this here, personally, is what I believe the fight should have just been. Because this is the real form of Argosax, which they just called a Despair Embodied. Which, interestingly enough, is a transgender demon. Because it has direct control of what gender it is, and can swap with them on the fly. And in the original, the official walkthrough, it does actually describe it as a transgender demon. I'm not just being an arsehole. I mean, however you want to roll is up to you. I don't really care, but I just thought that was an interesting thing that they decided to do. Oh, yeah, let's just have the ultimate final boss be transgender, because why not? Well, I'm curious to know what the development team were thinking when that idea came through their head. Like, let's not have this be some cool important character or something on the side, or just anything. No, let's just make it the final boss, a big flame demon that can just swap its gender on the fly. But in terms of gameplay though, depending on which gender it decides to be, depends on what attacks it does. So you have to prepare for it. It'll do a lot more physical attacks when it's in its masculine mode, and it'll do a lot more ranged shit when it's in its feminine mode. So you have to compromise with whatever you get and then make the most of it. Very easy. But you see how this fight's going a lot quicker, and there's actually, like, we are getting hit and we're having trades and there's dodging and there's actually, you know, it's entertaining. That's what I mean. I actually I don't mind this fight. It's my Bolvex probably, if I had to choose, like, my favourite fight, and even then that's got the problem with the fucking wolves all the time, but this fight's fun. And I wish all the fights in this game could at least somewhat come to this quality, but no, of course they don't. But we've got our ending cutscene now, so the boss is dead, so I'm going to let this play out.
Yeah, let's go all the way to hell.
He didn't say jackpot. Like, come on. That's like a mainstay of the series. I don't care if this is only the second game. The first game ended with him charging up the pistol, shooting Mundus and going jackpot. In 3, he teams up with his brother, shoots Arkham, and they go jackpot. In 4, if you do a special finisher on Sanctus, Nero goes jackpot. It's a mainstay. It's something important to the series. What the fuck? Like, fuck this game, man. Go change Lucia's story. Yeah, I'll do that later. I can't be bothered right now. Why? That's so Of course they end it on such a annoying note. Fuck this game.